Today, we're going to talk about the High End Systems Solapix fixtures. The Solapix 19 is a wash light fixture from High End Systems and comes jam-packed with features to enhance your production with bright and saturated colors. Whether to attract attention, set a mood, or create an atmosphere with effects, it's perfect for conferences, ballrooms, trade show floors, and concerts. Let's give a quick overview of the physical details. There are a few models of the Solapix fixtures, and they are all slightly different. The Solapix 7 is the smallest of the Solapix line, but has all the features of all other models. The main difference is its weight and power draw are less. The Solapix 19, the one we are showcasing here, is the 7's bigger brother, weighing a little bit more and also drawing a little bit more power. The XT version of the Solapix 19 is rated IP65 for outdoor use. Next up, it's the Solapix 37, with a lot more cells and weighing slightly less than the Solapix 19 XT. And finally, there's a fan version of the fixture, the Solapix Fan 8, where the cells are spread wide, creating different light patterns than the other fixtures. They can be controlled via DMX, streaming ACN, or ArtNet via Ethernet connection. It's also an RDM-capable fixture. It has an IP rating of 20, meaning that it is protected against solid objects over 12 millimeters, i.e. a person's fingers, so it is not dustproof and it has no protection against water. Be sure to take extra special care when using it outdoors. The Solapix 19 weighs 35 pounds, powered by True One connectors with a max power draw of 930 watts or 8.1 amps at 120 volts. On a 15 amp circuit, you're only able to use one mover. On a 20 amp circuit, two of these movers can be used in the same circuit separately, meaning not daisy-chained. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the features. On the front panel of the fixture, we have the display and navigation controls available. On the fixture's yoke, we have the pan lock and the tilt lock. Also located nearby are a pair of handles for easy transportation in and out of road cases and on the job site. On the back side, we have the power in and out, which are PowerCon True One connectors, as well as 5-pin connectors for DMX in and out, and a pair of Ethernet ports for streaming ACN and ArtNet. Also found back here is a USB port for fixture updates and other various features. The Solapix 19 features an additive LED RGBW color mixing system that creates extremely powerful and punchy colors with a tunable white color parameter. It has a maximum lumen output of 14,500 and has a variable zoom range, the smallest being 4.5 degrees for an ultra focus beam to 60 degrees for a really good stage wash. It also has what ETC calls a halographic pixel definition, meaning that when you zoom in, you can see the definition of the edges of each cell very well. The light has 3 modules of control, which can be accessed through the navigation panel. Before jumping into the Flex Effects engine, let's take a look at these modules to get a better understanding of how to customize the fixture. Each module has certain parameters and functions that we're able to customize. To get there, you'll need to go to the main menu on the navigation panel. Press the Mode/Escape button on the front panel, go to Address from the main menu. From there, you can access the 3 modules and configure them. For the modules, think of them as layers that stack to form overall control, with the base module being the essential piece. From there, we're able to stack with the Flex module, and then we round out that last layer with the Pixel module. First, let's go over the base module. This is the master module and controls the basic functions of the fixture, which includes pan, tilt, zoom, background color, and intensity. There's also some advanced settings within this menu, such as background masking and module priority selection. This base module needs to be always enabled in order for the fixture to work. This module takes up 21 channels of DMX on all Solapix fixture types. Next up is the Flex module. This is where the magic happens, as this is a lot like a macro menu. This module houses the Flex Effects engine, which allows us to easily create dynamic effects from a library of animations and many customizable parameters like speed, color, and strobe. It takes 17 channels of DMX on all Solapix fixtures and adds onto the base module of 21 channels for a total of 38 channels. Finally, we have the Pixel module. This takes up the most amount of DMX channels but gives the user complete control of each individual lighting cell. It takes 4 channels per cell, meaning that for this model, the Solapix 19, it takes 76 DMX channels. Adding to the previous two modules, this fixture can potentially use a whopping 114 DMX channels per fixture. This amount of control allows for complete customization of the fixture effects and cell color. While it gives you limitless patterns and possibilities, it can be very time-consuming. However, combined with the onboard Flex Effects engine, you can easily create dynamic pixel effects right out of the box. It's a powerful set of parameters that's built into all the Solapix series and enables you to create the perfect effects, patterns, chases, and presets for your show. So what's the point of all of this? Well, we LDs are control freaks, so this works out great. Hey, I didn't tell you to do that. Thank you. But for realsies, you get the option to have as much control as you want, and maximum control and customizability is always a great thing. Diving back into the menu, each module, except for the base module, can be disabled, independently addressed, or set to either compound mode or independent mode. When a module is set to compound mode, it will automatically address itself to the same source as the base module, following immediately after the address of that base module. The most common module setup for the Solapix fixtures is base plus flex, but you can also configure it so that it's base plus pixel or base plus flex plus pixel. Let's say you wanted to use the most common setup of using compound mode on the base plus flex modules. The base module takes up 21 DMX channels, meaning that it will be from DMX channels 1 to 21. The flex module will begin at DMX channel 22, right after the base module, all the way up until DMX channel 38. If you set both the flex and pixel modules to compound mode, the pixel module will immediately begin after the flex module, DMX channel 39 to 114. Going back to the layers metaphor, you can add or remove layers of control depending on how much you actually want or need. So what about independent mode? Well, if a module is in independent mode, you're able to address it anywhere you want, which is useful for organization when dealing with lots of fixtures or using different lighting controllers, such as running fixtures on your lighting console, but you have another device that controls your pixel mapping. If that's the case, you can set the pixel module to independent mode and give it any address or source that you want. The Solapix enables you to have different sources for different modules, like having the base module on DMX and the pixel module running on streaming ACN or ArtNet via Cat5. You're also able to choose different universes for each module depending on your needs. Be sure to check out the reference guide to the Solapix DMX maps for more information about the parameters of the base, flex, and pixel module. The link's in the description. I'm going to do a short overview of how to use the macros and zones. Today, I'm using a High End Systems Hedgehog 4X. I do have a few things pre-programmed, but programming will look very different on whatever console you're using. Now, keep in mind that this is not an entry-level fixture, so programming will take time and knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the base module. So I'm going to select the base module here that I've already pre-programmed, and I'm going to bring up my intensity. I have already selected an amber color. However, at this point, you can choose whichever color you would like. So here's cyan, blue, magenta, and we're going to go back to amber for this example. The next step is to select your next zone. I'm going to also bring up the intensity here. And on this zone, I do have cyan selected, but you can choose whichever color you would like. You can also go ahead and use the color picker on your console if you so feel like. Today, I'm not. Okay. We're also going to select the next zone, zone number 2, and we'll bring up the intensity there as well. We'll do the same again on zone 3. Your next step, once you have your 3 zones set with intensity and color, is going to go back to the base module, and now you can go ahead and use the beam button on the Hedgehog to find a macro that you like. I've selected macro number 31, but there are a lot of them. So of course, you can choose whichever macro you would like. They all do change and look different. Some macros utilize all 3 zones, meaning you can do 3 or 4 different colors. And some macros are just 1 or 2. It's all up to you and how you feel like mixing these. Another setting that you'd like to look at is macro rate, which affects how fast this macro is running. Right now it's set to 50%, but of course you can speed it up or slow it down depending on what you're trying to do. Another setting you'd like to look at is probably your macro crossfade, which determines the fade between each state of this macro. So currently we're at 0% and they are popping between each color. If I bring that crossfade up, you'll see that they begin to fade into each other. This is 100%. And we'll go back down to 0. Now with these 3 zones, you can create color combinations to your desires. Of course, it depends on what you're doing and what show it is, but they are there to be played with. You can, of course, also vary the intensity. So now I'm going to bring down the base module intensity so we just see the zones. And that's just a brief overview into the macros and zone control of this fixture. So let's take a look at the pros and cons of this fixture. It's great for live productions, such as concerts, theatrical sets, and trade shows, and can really create strong and vibrant colors, attracting attention. And it's awesome at setting the mood. It has a lot of effect features, using the Flex engine to create and customize patterns, chases, color saturation, and other parameters that make the fixture extremely versatile and quick at setting up presets. It has the capacity to be really granular when it comes to customization via the pixel module, as you're able to control each individual cell to how you want it. The cons? Well, it is only IP20 rated, meaning that it's not protected against dust and water, so it's best used indoors or in clear weather. If you have no choice and need to use it outside, you'll have to buy an additional protective plastic cover to keep it safe from rain and the elements. The colors, while rich and vibrant, are not as accurate on film and video. It's designed for the human observer and not at all for digital cameras. And looking through that lens, the colors are oversaturated. In conclusion, the Solapix 19 is a powerful lighting fixture with plenty of features that makes it one of the most versatile fixtures of its kind. While it isn't the perfect fixture, the pros definitely outweigh those cons and has become a staple in our productions. Thanks for watching our overview of the Solapix fixtures family. What did you think? If you have any questions, want to talk about lighting, or really anything event production related, be sure to write a comment down below and let us know. Check out our other videos. Also, be sure to leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out and allows us to spread more great production content. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.